Thanks for the spot, dude. Appreciate it. Holy, what a leg day. Oh. Get my Crocs on. Damn.
Does your post-leg day struggle look like this? Rolling out of bed to a leg cramp that makes you late to your 8:30 class, cautiously wobbling your way there, hoping to find quicker recovery?
If you've ever been in the fitness space, the importance of recovery has probably been shoved down your throat already.
But there's good reason for that. Activities like these are very demanding.
You might try to recover by stretching after your workout, eating a good meal, and getting some good sleep.
If you go to the gym, play varsity sports, or even just walk across campus every day, recovery matters more than you think.
Today we're breaking down the science behind recovery shoes and whether they actually reduce fatigue, foot pressure, and muscle strain. You may have heard of many different types of recovery shoes, such as Canes, Hoka's, and the Nike Mines, but one company that stands out in front of all of its competitors is the UFAs. So today, when referring to recovery shoes, we will be talking about them.
But James, what exactly are UFAs?
Sabrina, I'm glad you asked. Let me explain. The UFAS company was founded in 2011 by a group of footwear veterans. Collectively, they noticed most of the shoes sold in stores were to improve athleticism during a workout, not necessarily afterward. For example, shoes for weightlifting, shoes for running, etc. As a result, they founded UFO with the goal of shock absorption and active recovery after a workout. Wait! Sorry guys, I'm getting ahead of myself. What exactly is active recovery, Sabrina?
A few key terms to jog your memory.
Active recovery is the performance of low-intensity exercise such as jogging or walking that helps increase blood flow, reduce soreness, and fatigue. And then load rate is the method used to quantify the total amount of stress placed on the body during the active exercise or a physical activity.
Delayed onset muscle soreness, or DOMS, is pain experienced 24 up to 72 hours post-exercise from a high load rate on affected muscle fibers or connective tissues. This triggers inflammation, which triggers your neuroreceptors, which tell your body that your muscles are sore and that you need to rest.
According to the Cleveland Clinic, active recovery can help reduce the risk of DOMS by improving circulation and decreasing stiffness, helping your body transition from an active state to a resting state. This is one of the reasons you'll see athletes performing cool-down exercises after their intense workout. And again, UFAs were founded with the principle of active recovery at its core. But how does simply a pair of shoes help with this recovery process?
Intense training can induce heavy shock and impact on your feet and legs. UFAs are designed with a comfortable structure, supportive foam, and extra cushioning to help reduce the amount of strain on your feet and legs while you move around.
Wearing recovery shoes during post-workout cooldowns gives your feet a break from the stiff and unsupportive footwear you're used to. So while active recovery focuses on movement, recovery shoes make that movement process less strenuous.
UFAS, a prevalent recovery shoe brand, claims that they can reduce load rate by 88% and also claims that they can reduce the energy released by the ankle by 47% compared to other neutrally cushioned shoes.
Let's take a look at the science and see if they support these claims.
Quick disclaimer, because of how recent this type of product is, there isn't much public available info regarding recovery shoes. However, there are a few studies worth mentioning, and let's take a look at them now.
In our first study, participants performed walking tests both before and after a fatiguing workout while wearing either sport-specific shoes or UFAs. Researchers then used computer-assisted gait analytics to measure how people moved while walking during their cooldown. They measured movement variability in different directions, center of pressure, and double stance variability. In simple terms, these measurements tell researchers how stable someone is while walking and how similar their gait patterns were to their normal heel-to-toe walking state after fatigue. These results show that UFAs led to improved stability, reduced variability in their gait, and a faster return to rested endpoint foot control compared to when they wore their sport-specific shoes. The study specifically stated that UFAs provided more consistently heel-to-toe walking as opposed to a more variable, at-risk state and is the preferred biomechanical pattern. Why does that matter? Well, the study goes on to say that when muscles are fatigued, your body often compensates with small changes in posture, balance, and foot placement, referred to as risky movement patterns. The study concluded that fine endpoint foot control is in fact improving faster when cooling down in UFOS, and more risky movement patterns measured during walking are reduced. Although a very interesting study, there are some limitations. The procedure used blood flow restriction training to induce fatigue, which quickly replicates the feeling of fatigue, but could be different to soreness that one might feel after a long run or a heavy leg day. And only 20 participants were used, which doesn't nearly give us the full picture.
An ongoing study at the University of Massachusetts, led by Catherine Boyer's biomechanics lab, is examining UFOS more closely. Current findings suggest that the support natural foot and ankle motion and help with load management. Researchers found that they can redistribute pressure across the foot, increase contact area under the arch, and reduce high pressure points where discomfort often occurs, all while maintaining range of motion.
Have you ever been an athlete that left a game wearing a pair of Crocs or slides? Well, I have. Understandable due to their comfort and convenience. However, in a study published in 2013, researchers compared 10 university men walking in flip-flops, sandals, barefoot, and running shoes. They were walking at controlled speeds, while variables such as ground reaction force, foot pressure, and joint angles were measured using VinCon, a motion analysis tool commonly used within biomechanics. Overall, the study results showed that flip-flops and sandals compared to walking barefoot offer very little cushioning and support. These factors can lead to higher impact forces at the heel and ankle during foot striking phase of gait, as well as less stability in the ankle during walking. These changes in biomechanics put extra stress on our muscles, joints, and connective tissues in the lower extremities. Over time, this increases the risk of discomfort, fatigue, and overuse injuries. This being said, your post-game, run, or workout shoes matter more than you think.
UFOS partnered with Exos, a global human performance and training organization. They formed a 2-year partnership where UFOS would be the sole provider of recovery shoes for Exos coaches and athletes. Both organizations share a similar objective and emphasize science-based recovery, which could help improve recovery, health maintenance, and performance. Exos has worked with more than 12,000 athletes, including 215 Olympians. This poses the question, if Olympians, professional athletes, and NFL players trust them, why can't you?
Recovery footwear often targets athletes, but Sandy, can it help other people who are not athletes?
I don't know, Sam. Can it?
Recovery footwear is mainly targeted towards athletes, including their coaches and associations. But this type of footwear can help reduce the stress on athletes' joints between training sessions. Recovery footwear helps reduce the load rate and absorb impact.
Many professional athletes already use recovery footwear to support training or after workouts. Kayla Barnes, a 2-time Olympic hockey medalist, trusts in UFOS as her recovery shoes. Introduced to her by her coach, UFOS allowed Kayla to relieve the pressure on her feet. Due to plantar fasciitis and long days on the ice, she can find herself in a lot of pain with little time to recover. Recovery shoes prove to be beneficial for a diverse range of people. UFOS has previously supported military personnel and corporate employees to help improve comfort in daily life.
Marketing emphasizes that load reduction and recovery will be drastically improved with these products. It also suggests that with other footwear types, there is not a huge change with energy costs. However, subtle physiological effects have been seen with regular use.
Studies are limited due to the lack of clarification for how to measure or quantify recovery. Most recovery is objective and dependent on the person. There are many factors that go into testing for recovery. Therefore, at the end of the day, it will be subjective to each athlete. Additionally, because UFOS are specifically designed for recovery, most studies done are qualitative rather than quantitative. The fact that it's trademarked means only one company makes the foam, which disables a third party from doing their own research and decreases the amount of studies done on the foam. Most recovery is objective and dependent on the person. There are many factors that go into testing for recovery, but at the end of the day, it's subjective to each athlete.
Recovery shoes come with a lot of big promises, but since the research is still ongoing, we don't have completed studies that can clearly prove quantifiable benefits.
That being said, the current findings are very promising, and this product could potentially benefit a lot of people, both athletes and busybodies alike.
If your goal is to improve your comfort throughout the day, recovery shoes might be for you.
And that's about it. Thank you guys.